boy, I hope this ain't too dark. Oh well, I'll give myself 5 minutes. If nobody shows up in 5 minutes, and I'll just end the whatchamacallit. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do something. Shout out to the one person that's up in here already. Man, this shirt is big, man. Fun fact about this shirt that I'm currently wearing is actually a hand me down from a friend of mine. It's a V-neck, not really. I don't like V-necks too much because like I'm fat, so my chest or my chest is out, and I don't like V-necks as it does that. Shout out to the two people that are up in here. Feel free to say anything you want, but in the meantime, I'm going to be doing some checking out of certain things. Oh man, I am so I ain't gonna lie, I'm bummed out. What is up, Shiva? What is up, Shiva Delphia? How's it going, Megs? Three people up in here. That's insane. How y'all doing? I keep telling myself that I'm gonna try to like play music up in here, but then I realized what is up and balance, my favorite YouTuber. I appreciate that. Thank you. Really do hope that means you watch my stuff. you know, when I said stay in your lane, oh, I hope you didn't take my advice the wrong way before when I said stay. I don't remember what you were referring to. I probably might have to watch my live to figure that out. But I mean, I will always was got me down. Oh, I just missed. I missed. There was this big anime. There was this big anime convention, like literally an hour away from me, and I like and because I didn't want to actually drive that far out because I didn't want to fall asleep on the road. So yeah, it's in Houston, and I didn't want to fall asleep on the ride there because I get one of the big reasons why I don't like driving long distances is because I get tired, and I meant pick up your strengths, focus on what you do well, monetize it. Nice. Should I attend anime convention? Should I attend? I mean, yeah, totally. Like, why would you? I will say if you want advice on the anime convention, I will say that it does get a little overwhelming because there's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people there that you're not going to know. So unless you're like, when you get there, you're gonna I would recommend being friendly because you're gonna encounter a bunch of people. Conventions are gigantic, depending on what convention it is. But even still, like, I mean, sure, being shy is okay too. Like a lot of people at conventions are shy, so you're gonna be among friends when you get there. But just know, but it's like if you're not the kind of person, if you're the kind of person who gets a little testy with people, the more you're around them, I wouldn't recommend it. But it's you can still go over there and do other things too besides interact with people. um you can go to the dealer's room and like just check out the stuff that people are selling. I can't do it the way my autism and social anxiety is set up. I can't be around people like that. Yeah, I get that. It's not for everybody, but like the big reason why I wanted to go was because there was a lot of wrestling guests over there, and reality of wrestling was taking place over there. But I couldn't really, but I can't explain it, but I cannot take that trip on my own. And part of me was hoping that the roommate would be able to take me over there, would like be able to drive me out there, but he had to work. So this whole weekend, I couldn't go. So I'm just bummed out that I couldn't go. Empire, I never knew you had that. I'm gonna assume you meant new. Make sure you wear comfy shoes if you go to one. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely the big thing. Make sure you wear some comfy shoes. You will do a lot of walking because it's a big convention center, so it's big. If you make a stream separately and title it "My Take on Going to a Bigger Anime Convention and Walk Away from It," is as an awesome experience, good video for anime fans to click and watch. Yeah, I get that. But the thing is, I'm really bummed out because I didn't go because, like I said, the trip would have, like I said, like okay, so a really long time ago, I actually same circumstance. I went to an anime convention in New Orleans. Yeah, when I was living in Louisiana, I went to an anime convention in New Orleans, and I lived maybe an hour and a half from New Orleans when I was living in Louisiana. When I drove back from New Orleans, I got into a bad wreck, lost my car, total loss, and I was walking for like a month. I was walking not a month. I was walking for like months on end. So it's a completely same circumstance. My brain was just like, nah, we got to remember from last time. So yeah, I would have definitely had fun for sure. I really did want to go. I really did want to go because there was a lot of wrestling guests I was going to be there and stuff like that. Well, God, dog, J Rock, get out of here. First and last warning, get out. Serious question. Have you ever taken energy shots like 5 hour energy on a road trip? Never have. I never did that before, and I feel like I should have. Driving and traveling is no joke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cause like actually, like last year I went to my hometown. We were like 3 hours away. Last year I went to my hometown. It was 3 hours away. Well, no, 4 hours away. And driving back was like I almost went to sleep. Uh, I went to sleep. I almost went to sleep like twice on the drive back. Royal Rumble was recently. Yeah, I actually made a video about. I actually made a video about that on my other channel. Please be sure to check it out. But yeah, yeah, Royal Rumble was recently. I definitely need to. I really do need to start going live on my other channel because I like talking about wrestling, and this definitely would have. I ain't gonna lie. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I definitely would have like loved to go to the convention just so I could like go live using my other channel and just kind of show up to like talk to other wrestlers and stuff like that. That would have been so dope, but that didn't happen. And like I said, I guess the big reason why is because I was relying on my roommate to take me to the convention, and he had to work all 3 days. You should always keep a few energy shots in the car. They legit help when you're tired. I might have to do that because, like I said, like the big reason why I don't do that, the big reason why I try not to drive long distances too much is because I fall asleep on the road a lot. And I guess I'm just really nervous about that. Your chance will come to attend some fun events ahead. I hope so. Good content with a live video. I really appreciate that, Shiva. Also, want to check your channel out? Come on, man. Shiva, what? Shiva, what the heck, man? Provide the content. I need this. I can't be the only one on here making content, y'all. I gotta roll that stuff up too. I want to hear y'all stories as well. Y'all are interested. If you saw wrestlers and fan interactions, yeah, that's the thing. Like I actually like in my experiences, I have encountered a lot of wrestlers, and I've encountered a lot of wrestlers. I've encountered like there's a picture on the internet of me with Jeff Hardy from like 2000 and uh mm, maybe like God dog maybe like 2009. I I'm a good person. I really appreciate that, Shiva. Thank you. I'm planning on starting content. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it, man. Like with the name like Shiva Delphia, is obvious that I'm pretty sure you live in Philly. I'm pretty sure you got some cool stuff to talk about being in Philly, especially if you're like a wrestling fan. I mean, like, dude, Philly is like the wrestling mecca. My allergies are affecting my health very badly. Believe me, dude, I'm right there with you. I'm not exactly in the best health myself. By the way, but yeah, I ain't gonna. I wonder if I can show the pictures that I have of me with wrestlers. Give me a sec. And my allergy shots are 80 and 100%, 80 to 100% effective. So that's good. That sounds good, actually. Is that good? I want to say that that's good. That sounds good. I hope that that's good anyway. All right. Let me see if I can. I wonder if I can show this. I would do more sports content, finance, and investing. Yeah, yeah, that sounds like something that a lot of people do too. So, yeah, give me one sec. I want to. No, wait, hold on. Here we go. So here's a picture. Here's an old picture. It's of me, Booker T, Rey Mysterio, and Charmel. I love this picture because it's definitely like one of my personal favorites. Because this event happened a really, really, really long time ago. I know it's in the past and nothing you can do about it, but you should definitely make better plans for any events moving forward. Sounds like a convention, something's close, right? That's close is right up your alley. Exactly. Huh. Yeah, that's a picture of me, Rey Mysterio, Booker T, and Queen Charmel herself. It was actually like a really, really, really long time ago. Obviously, as you can tell, it's a long time ago because Booker didn't have his beard yet. Yeah, I didn't know that I was. I didn't know that I was that. I didn't know I was taller than Rey Mysterio. For the longest time, I thought we were all. I thought me and him were the same height. But little story, like I said, the story about this event is one that I always really enjoy like telling because when I was like when I got there, um, I just got fired from my job. Like, how tall am I? I'm 5'6". Um, but like also another thing too is that we're taking the picture in the corner. So like I think I'm actually stepping back a little bit too. So I want to say I'm stepping backwards. So you probably can't tell, but yeah, like Book is on the wall, Ray is also on the wall, and I'm sort of like leaning back into the corner a little bit. Book has his hand on my shoulder so I don't fall backwards because I was freaking out that day. um, let me see. Let me. I'm gonna try to find another one. But yeah, Ray's short. Ray, you're 5'4". Let me see if I can find another one. Uh, wow. Okay. This is now if you I don't know if you guys are like big wrestling fans, but this is I don't know if you guys are big wrestling fans. Y'all probably might not. Y'all probably might know who this is. Y'all probably might not know who this is, but this is me with Chris Bay. Before the injury, as you can obviously tell, I'm much fatter in this picture. And actually, I'm not really fat in this picture as much as it's just like the flannel shirt that I'm wearing just makes you look big because it's draped over me. Because I'm not that fat in this picture. Yeah, but yeah, it was me and Chris Bay. Before he got injured, he's a cool guy. This is at a Battle Slam show. This is at a Battle Slam show. I forgot who he was wrestling, but it was like was he? I don't know if he was wrestling or not. But yeah, it was me, and yeah, he's a cool dude too. Like I know wrestlers from 1988 to Rock and Stone Cold mostly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people don't know this new generation of wrestlers. Get out of here, J Rob. I keep telling you, man, I don't like you. Go away. Um, I heard of recent wrestlers by name. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of let's see. Here we go. This is the one that I personally enjoy. This is the one I personally enjoy because this was like a really, really, really long time ago. All right, so as y'all can obviously tell, I'm black as coal in this picture, but that's only because like I was fresh off work and I went to this TNA event back in my hometown And like I said, he's a cool dude in person, man. I tell you, it was really awesome. But this event specifically, yeah, Foley. And honestly, like I honestly did not expect him to take the picture with me. But this is like really, really, really old because you can tell by how skinny I am. But it was after the TNA event. They told us to stand in line and take a picture with everybody. He was a really, really, really cool dude. And also, like this same event, I want to say this same event, I also took a picture with Jeff Hardy, but I can't find that picture. So yeah, because Jeff Hardy also had a match at this event as well. So there's a picture of me with Mick Foley and me and Jeff Hardy, and for the life of me, I cannot find that picture of me and Jeff Hardy. But it exists. It's real. It's just But yeah, he was a cool dude, man. And the thing was, Mick Foley was at this convention that I was at that I wanted to go to. But once again, like I kind of yeah, never knew. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, totally. Let's see. I should probably do this on my other. That's a well. That's all. That's enough for the slideshow for today. You need to make 7 to 10 minute wrestling story videos, drawing anime and wrestling viewers. This is my passion. Yeah, I get that. I totally should. It's just like, um, I might just do that. Actually, I might just do that because these are yeah, like I can totally do that. But like my stories are just gonna always end up being, hey, I went to this thing and I met this person. We took a picture. Hey, like I mean, it is cool to be able to. It is kind of cool to be able to do that. But like, yeah, it's like I didn't really get. It's like I didn't get a chance to do much. Why are you self conscious? I don't know what you're asking. I love hearing your wrestling stories. Pretty cool. I appreciate that. It's just like my wrestling stories are just not. My wrestling stories are just. I went to an event, saw a wrestler. He was cool enough to let me take a picture with him. Foley is a legit decent guy. He really is. Like he really is. Like Foley is a very Foley. Like that's the reason why I can't. Like I stand by Foley. I always say that like if there was a spectrum of like good people, if there was like a spectrum of good and evil, I'm pretty sure Foley would be like the closest to a purely good wrestler, a purely good person in wrestling. Because it's like like yeah, it definitely does feel like something worth talk. People want to hear emotions. How did it happen? Do you remember Neat's another character site sound? Did you make friends? I get that. Yeah, totally. And I want to say I did make friends with some wrestlers, but like they're so busy that we don't even. They're so busy, like it's not like we talk often. Like anybody who knows Reverend Devon, I am friends with his sons. Well, I don't want to say friends, but like I know them. They know who I am. Who? Okay, I get that. Yeah, totally. Uh, ooh, that's not good. I appreciate that, y'all. Let's see. I can throw one. I can throw one more picture out there. What's up? Shout out to the homie Bane the Reckoning, who I still feel like should be doing some streaming videos. All right, this is gonna be the last one that I do, uh, because I am definitely a fan of. I'm definitely a fan of these guys. Kimbo Slice daughter came to mom home before. Oh, really? That's dope. Which was pretty cool. Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if she could fight. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if she could fight just as good as her father did. All right, this is the last one. Okay, so this is me and Ricky Starks. Yeah, Kimbo did die very early. This is me and Ricky Starks. Um, okay, so when I was at Reality of Wrestling, he just happened to be there at the time. And we was like before this picture was taken, it looks like we're all chummed up. It looks like we're all like chummied up and pals and all this other stuff. But we was actually arguing about like Louisiana food before we took this picture. We was arguing about like New Orleans food versus Baton Rouge food because I'm from Baton Rouge and he's from New Orleans. And like, yeah, I appreciate that. I think I ain't gonna lie. Like I look at this stuff, I always feel like I look kind of dorky. But yeah, like that is but yeah, like we was literally arguing about food like right before this, which is kind of like if you really think about it, it's kind of a Louisiana thing. Like it's kind of a Louisiana thing. It both does, but it's like in Louisiana is really we're obsessed with food, so it's like there's definitely like a bit of a thing there. Hold on, y'all. I am multitasking. All right. Can't lie. The most professional wrestling I consume nowadays is Kinnikuman. I get it, man. Kinnikuman is a good show too. Like, is it still going? I know it's not still. It's not. It can't still be going. I know it ain't still going. I know it's not. I know we didn't just Dragon Ball Z Kinnikuman. It's like you know what? Let's just keep it going because there's still wrestling in it. Because I know that there's a. Because I know that there's Tiger Mask, which is like based off of like real wrestling, but believe it or not, the manga is. Bro, that's crazy. It's like no wonder. It's like Japan does not know when to end nothing, bro. Like Cyborg Zero is I bet Cyborg 009 is still going on, even though Shotaro Ishinomori's been dead for almost 20 years. God, dog, the manga still is? That's crazy. Cyber 009 is over? Okay, that's dope. That's dope. All right. All right. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. Like Cyber, like there's some series from the old days, and I'm surprised it's still going. Like Go 13 is still going, ain't it? Good evening from beautiful Dallas, Texas. Hello, Miss Nancy Wilson. How you doing today? Like that's what I'm saying. But it's like there's so many series from like way back that are still going on. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is still going. You know what I'm saying? Like Doraemon is still going. Uh, they actually got his son to come write the final arc based on his dad's notes. On what? Go 13 is still like it's an anime series now. Yeah, Go 13 is still going. Like I know it's an anime series, but I also know that there's something else. Like there's another series from way back that's still, like I said, JoJo is still going, Go is still going. Uh, hmm. I mean, obviously Dragon Ball is still going. I mean, yeah, bro. They don't. What they got love about Japan is they don't know how to stop, bro. They don't revamp their stuff. The characters just don't die. Like what's that other series? The one where that boy, that adult turned into a little Case Closed. I think Case Closed is still going. Shotaro's son wrote the final arc of Cyborg 009 based on his dad's notes before he died. Shout out to the OG Shotaro Ishinomori, the man who made Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. What is it? He also made what's the series called? The one with the robot with the half red and half blue side. Kiko. Is it Kikoman? No, God, what is it called? Okay, because it was half red, half blue. He was a robot. There's is a K in there. I know, like Kakaider. No, not is it Kakaider? Yes, Cyborg Kakaider. Yes, Astro Boy has been rebooted. I'd argue the reboots are better. Well, yeah, but it's been rebooted. It's not like a straight up continuation of the original story. I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad to hear it, Miss Nancy. Hakaider was better. No, Hakaider was the bad guy. Shut up. How was a jerk, man. We're not doing that. Okay. Shoot. You know what sucked? The Ninja Turtles anime. No, it didn't. Wait, which anime? Oh man. Man. Let me see. I've never seen a TMNT anime. That's a new one for me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I gotta charge my cell phone. Yes, ma'am. I hope you do the same, Miss Nancy. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you, and I hope that you having a really good day out there. And I need to get some rest. I completely understand that, and well deserved too. I'm pretty sure you had a. I'm pretty sure you had a. Had quite a day. There's a Ninja Turtles anime where the turtles become super turtles with mystical artifacts, and they look more human. I don't know. That sounds awesome, actually. That is that. Wait, is it old? Is that recent? What's happening? My legs are killing me. It was a continuation of the 1987 cartoon, but made by the Japanese, like how they made their own transform. Okay, okay, I get that. That sounds about right. But that sounds like a cool concept though. Now I think about it. Like, was it called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or was it called something else? Was it called like I'm old school? All the turtles need to look human, or fedoras and trench coats. Like, what was it like? Was it called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or was it called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the anime? Like, also, like, how did you see it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Legends of the Super Mutants. Okay, probably TMNT Kai or something. Okay, let me check that out real quick. Okay, when was this made? All right, Mutant Turtles, Chojin Densetsu Hen. Okay, wow. Okay, that's that is very different. That's very different. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I this is my first time ever even coming across this. Yes, it's Sunday. I try my best to do these on Sunday. I'm always on the internet. That's how. Bane of Reckoning. I'm gonna need Bane of Reckoning. I'm gonna need for you to like come out of your shell and like start talking about like start like doing video series reviews and video game streaming videos. Like you know more about this stuff than I do. I get my information about this stuff from you. So it's like, I mean, dude, also you are very entertaining. Like I know, like I know my circadian rhythm is all messed up. Yeah. So it's all yeah, that tracks. It only lasted 2 episodes, no ending. Honestly, like the sad part is that like this is my first time hearing about this. I never even knew this existed. I mean, it's like the sad part. I feel like if this wasn't called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it wouldn't. It probably wouldn't have gotten panned so hard. I feel like a lot of things. I feel like what a lot of people like to do is that they like to reimagine something that's original, but it's like it's such a good idea already on its own that they don't have to necessarily do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, there's going to be similarities between thing one and thing two, but it's like if it's too different, then people are going to be like, I don't like this thing because it's too different. But also at the same time, if you were to rename it and say it's your original idea, then people are going to be like, oh, this is too much like XYZ. He's talking about TMNT, and you told him to come out of his shell. Oh, dang, I just realized how like how punny that sounded. You know what needs an ending, but we'll never get it? The original Rugrats. What are you talking about? The original Rugrats kind of did. I mean, like, wait, hold on. The original, okay, wait. The original Rugrats, how did it end? It never ended. They just got all grown up. Are you talking about like the first ever? I mean, like they just grew up. They became yeah. No, it didn't. There was no series finale of the Rugrats. It just stopped making episodes. Essentially, yeah, but it's like essentially all grown up was like the sequel. I mean, it's kind of like it didn't necessarily all grown up doesn't have a true ending. They rebooted them years ago in 3D. I remember that. I remember the reboot, which I don't understand. To this day, I still don't understand why that even happened. Oh man. I will come back to your live stream once my cell phone is charged in 15 minutes. Yes, ma'am. In the meantime, I'll try to stick around. I normally try to do these at least 2 hours. That's if the depression doesn't kick in. But I do appreciate you for stopping by, Miss Nancy. Also, be sure to give a like if you can. Really appreciate that. What makes it an ending though? Finally that wraps everything up. That truly lets it be known that it's over. Yeah, I feel like I get what you're saying because there is always like there is a season finale that we do get a chance to sort of like appreciate. Honestly, this seems like this show would have done really well. It was a scary episode from all grown up. Scared the mess out of me. What's that? Rugrats was a slice of life sort of show. There wasn't any continuity or anything. Yeah, like when I think of Rugrats, I don't think of like when I think of Rugrats, I don't think of like serious issues that need to be like confronted or anything like that. I don't even think there was barely any conflict on that show outside of Angelica being obnoxious every now and again, and maybe Phil and Lil just like beefing with each other every episode. But look at Hey Arnold, it ended on a big cliffhanger, and we got a proper conclusion to what happened years later with the Jungle movie. It's like an ending for the Smurfs or something. One episode on All Grown Up, and when they seeing that ghost kid and his eyes turn red. I'm sorry, what? What? Okay. Wow. Okay, I never saw one episode of All Grown Up. So like that, I didn't even know they confronted like death like that. The only death episode I remember from Rugrats was when Melville died and when they talked about Chucky's mom. But that was it. The finale should would have been a serious issue, like the crew dealing with something massive like Grandpa Lou's death and Stu finally opening his toy company after all these years or something. I don't want to think about Grandpa Lou dying. 15 something. I don't. Well, I don't want to see that. That's terrifying. That's crazy. I didn't even. I'm sorry. I'm reading up on the dead kid. Like they actually were being hunt. There actually was an episode where they were being haunted, and Homeboy did have the red eyes. That's terrifying. Oh God, that I never saw one episode of All Grown Up, so that's a shock to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, it messed me up real bad. Now it's just silly to me. Jesus, man. I love the fact that Samurai Jack got a proper ending after all those years. Speaking of Nicktoons, anyone remember the guy Randy Stair who became obsessed with Ember from Danny Phantom? He ended up killing. I don't know anything about Wait, yes I do. Oh my god, yes I do. Yeah, that dude was out of his mind. Yeah, I recommend not doing that. That dude was dangerous. Yeah, no, I would not recommend going down that rabbit hole. It was years. So, nah, that's insane, dude. Years that he was obsessed. Yeah, that's Lex Luthor won DCKO. I knew there was no reason for me to watch it. I knew there was no reason for me to read that thing. I hate DCKO. I was not going to read it, and now I have no reason to read it because Lex Luthor won it. DC really wants people to like Lex Luthor, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired of villain simping. I am so tired. I am over the villain simping. Like I'm tired. Like I get it. I get it. Evil has to win in DC, but I'm tired, bro. It's just like when Sinestro was it's just like when Sinestro was the White Lantern. Like it had to be Sinestro. Tired, man. No, like I'm so sick of these stupid villain simping storylines, bro. I'm not trying to. I don't care. I'm not reading that stupid crap anyway. I hate Sinestro. I always have. Why they have to make the bad guy the good? Why do they do that to make the bad guy the good guy? No, dude. Like I don't know what it is, but DC is obsessed with Lex Luthor, bro. I don't know what it's about. White Lantern Sinestro is him going through his redemption arc. I don't care. I hate Sinestro. I hate Sinestro for the stupidest reason too. I think I just hate his. I think it's because I just hate his head shape and his mustache. Like I understand that he's supposed to be. I understand that he's supposed to be based off that actor. Oh God, I forgot that actor's name. Oh, it's gonna drive me insane. He was in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. I forgot that dude's name. What was the actor's name? Not Boris Karloff. Who he did the voice. He did the little speech in the Michael Jackson song, and he had the must. Vincent Price. Vincent Price. Thank you. Thank you. His magenta face I can't deal with. Like I said, I hated him because he like Vincent. Like I could handle Vincent Price being an inspiration for Doctor Strange because it makes sense. But Vincent Price being a inspiration for Sinestro, I hated that. And like I hated Sinestro in general. Like I said, him being a White Lantern, that really kind of made me mad, bro. Especially because I was invested in the Lantern War. I was reading up on that like crazy. I was hyped about the Lantern War, man. I was sitting here like, yeah, bro, let's go. The colors actually mean some sort of aesthetic concept. There's like the batteries are powered by like fictional monsters and stuff like that. You got it takes place in space, so they could go as big as wherever they want to. Let's go. I love this. I love this. Sinestro becomes a White Lantern. Come on, bro. I mean, thanks a lot for giving it to Kyle, but could have Joker. It was either him, Diana Clark, or Joker. Diana! We couldn't have Diana win DCKO. We couldn't have Diana. We couldn't have Diana with hands. Diana got hands, bro. Diana bro. No, that's stupid. That is stupid, and I hate it. I'm glad I didn't read that crap. I'm glad I didn't read it. It sucked. DCKO sucks. I don't care. The wrong person won. I am tired of DC trying to push Lex Luthor, man. She just looked good in another arc. Can't have her looking good again. Nah, bro. We have to have her looking good in everything. Shoot, we gotta have her looking like we gotta. I mean, we couldn't just bring in another character to win this. Why couldn't it have been Deadman? Big Barda is like right there. It couldn't be Deadman. It couldn't be Big Barda. It couldn't be Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain with the hands. Cassandra Cain can throw hands. He's just gonna lose the dark side. I don't care, man. Whatever. This is stupid. Ancient Origins is like right there. Who the hell wants Deadman to win the tournament? The guy who can't die should win the tournament. I don't care. I like Deadman. Boston Brand is my favorite character. Shoot, who the hell wants a dead man to win? The guy who can't die. I mean, okay, whatever. But also, he's like stuck in down to Parbat anyway. No one cares about Dead Man. Just being honest, I don't care. I care about Dead Man. I don't care what other people think. Everybody else is simps for villains. Everybody else is mean as hell. Everybody else is a brain dead sociopath who thinks that Lex Luthor is amazing. I don't care about those people. I like Dead Man. Nobody cares about like, dude. You whatever. Okay, I'm supposed to not care about Dead Man because other people don't. Shoot, you're talking to the wrong one. Lex Luthor is amazing though. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna think so. You're evil. We were just laughing at Lex the other day about what? Shoot, I hate the fact that like I actually like. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you probably do, man. You're an evil guy, Max. But yeah, like I don't like Lex Luthor, man. I don't like Lex. I don't. Not only do I not like Lex Luthor, I don't like the fact that like DC is pushing Lex Luthor this hard. Because before they was pushing Lex Luthor this hard, they was pushing Reverse Flash this hard. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to push him as, you know, it's like they really, really, really want people to like their villains because he was getting his butt kicked by Samantha Strong. Hence why we didn't think he would win. This twist caught everybody off guard. Don't like him either. Yeah, it's just like they really go out of their way to try to push their villains. They push Thawne, they push Joker, and now they're pushing Lex. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of these villains. I don't want to simp villains. I'm tired of villains. Like, I want these people to get beaten up. Not many DC villains I like, really. Oh, okay. It's like, you know, I miss the times where you could just like I miss the times where a villain would do something bad and they would just get cracked in the mouth for it. You know? It's like, you know, it's very rare. Like they made a villain show called Peacemaker. Peacemaker isn't a villain. He's just crazy. Like he is Peacemaker is out of his mind, but he's not evil. Does that make sense? Like the Creeper, for instance. The Creeper is like he's out of his mind, but he's not evil. He just does crazy stuff. You just act like them taking any victories is awful. It is. I don't want to see these. I don't want to see these a holes win a game of rock paper scissors. I don't want to see these a holes win a game of tic tac toe. I'm not trying to see them win. I don't want to see them win at all. Shoot, I'm tired of evil people winning. Like in general, like that's been my whole life. It's just seeing evil win and like just getting away with it for a really long time. That's the reason why I can't watch Demon Slayer because like the dude who let me see if I got this right. The dude who kills the kid's parents literally like lives for like 90% of the story. Okay. If they lose all the time, there isn't a compelling story. I do not care. I do not care. Okay. I love The Last of Us because the dude who shot Joel's daughter got popped within minutes and the story kept going. Man is very adamant about black and white lines being drawn. I don't know what the hell you're trying to say. Like I said, the dude who shot Joel's daughter got popped off like within minutes. That's the point. Watching them trying to find him. Yeah, whatever. Y'all can do that. I ain't trying. Peacemaker. I mean, like, I don't believe in anti-heroes. I don't believe in anti-heroes because like I hate the logic of heroes don't kill because fans made that crap up. The guy who killed Joel's daughter was also not the main villain. It doesn't matter who the main villain was. It was the fact that like they could have dedicated the whole story to Joel finding the guy who killed his daughter, but they didn't. Instead, the dude who shot his daughter got popped, and the story kept going. That's the kind of stuff that's what I mean when I say I want to see a bad person get killed. That's not what makes you an anti-hero. I don't believe in anti-heroes. But like I will say that Peacemaker does have his own code. And yeah, calling Peacemaker a villain is like calling Deadpool a villain. Like Deadpool, like they kill people, but they're not evil. The guy who killed Joe, yeah. Shoot. I'm not trying all I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing villains win so much, bro. That stuff is annoying. That stuff is annoying. Like, you know, it's all this villain simping crap. Like, I'm trying to see bad guys get popped. Don't get them started on anti-heroes. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see bad guys get popped. I'm tired of seeing bad guys not get popped. Like, what? Who's the dude in the who's that dude in that superhero show? Uh the dude with the face and this dude with the mouth, the like that dude gets away with it for like the majority of the story. I'm tired of that. Nah, man. See these dudes get punched in the face once in a while. I'm tired. Like and they don't even have to like they don't have to like lose, but I would like to see them at least get mollywopped at least once in a while. Your issue is they get any victories, which isn't realistic. I once again I don't care about realism, bro. It's fiction. It's like, here's the thing. Like, we can have this discussion. Like, we can have this discussion all day, but I'm not trying to see villains win. Shoot. It's like, like one of my favorite stories is when a purse snatcher. One of my favorite stories is when somebody a purse snatcher runs off with the purse and gets whopped. That's it. Short story. Life goes on. Here's your purse back, man. Shoot. Bad guys need to get put the fuck down. Holy crap, what? Dang right. That's why I'm writing my own story. That's why I'm writing my own story. Shoot, because I'm tired of these stupid, complicated villain has to win for 80% of the story thing. I'm writing my own story so that, like, I don't expect my story to go successful. I don't expect my stories to like be considered good. I don't care if people like them because I know what people like and I don't care. But I'm writing my own story. Does it have more than 10 pages? Oh, bro, my stories go deep. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like, my stories go deep. Ask Jovi. She will tell you my stories are lengthy. Okay. Shoot. This is amazing. This dude is so talented. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so then there's going to be a new villain every chapter. Roughly, yeah. Like, you guys have like absolutely no, like, you have no clue how I write, and that's the problem. Is that, like, I can tell you and where can we read any of your stories. I'm still working on them. I'm still working on them, but like, I can like write. I can do character drops. You know what I'm saying? I can do like character drops. I can tell you like the skin and bones of my stories. New villain every chapter, and they lose every chapter. Roughly, yeah. No, here's the thing though. I make my villains actually hateable. Like, my villains are terrible characters. That's the whole point. My villains are characters that you don't want to root. That my villains are characters you don't want to see win because they're monsters. They are actually terrible individuals. You're right. We don't know. I actually like to see some of your stuff. Yeah, like I said, ask Jovi. She'll tell you. Publish something. Yeah, okay. Like, I'm working on my story now. My problem is that like my stories are massive. That's the reason why nothing's getting done yet. Like, my stories are huge. Like, I'm writing universes here, man. That's the reason why nothing's getting published yet, because of the fact that they are like, these are big, big stories. Release them piecemeal. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean by that. By chapter, like comics. Yeah, okay. But yeah, like, that's what I'm saying though, is that you're right. We don't know like that. Just you can write hateable villains and still write a good story. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna like my stories because the obviously hateable, destructive, evil villains will actually lose, and they will lose relatively quickly because of the fact that you don't want them to win. Almost all of my villains are going to be people who think that are people that you could probably the worst kinds of people. Like you're not going to read this thing and think, oh wow, maybe that character should have won because they're sympathetic or whatever. No, you're going to be like, drown this dude in a lake. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the whole point. The point is to like paint the point. If they're losing quickly, then what are all these pages filled with? Yeah, they're not losing quickly, dude. They're not losing, like they're not winning, but they're not losing quickly either. It doesn't make any, like, for the first off, like there's a there's racism in my stories, and it's systemic. So obviously it's not just a case of, and it's systemic. So like obviously the main villains in my story is a group of really corrupt people that don't even get introduced until much later in the thing. You're not going to know who these people are just yet. I can promise you, people don't think that a lot about the villains you claim to. That's what I'm saying. Though I'm gonna have like I'm gonna have evil villains, but I do know that you just said that they're losing quickly. That was a quote. Yeah, like for example, I have a character in my story who is a school teacher who is stalking one of their students because who's stalking one of his students because that kid's parent turned him down when they were in middle school, and he never got over it. So he's basically like he always makes life miserable for this one specific student. So and you find out that it's because yeah, he had a crush on this kid's mom. So there's that, and he also is a sociopath. So you didn't get introduced to Muzan until later. Then he sends people to yeah, but we already seen what Muzan did. We already seen what Muzan had did like within the like literally the first couple minutes of the show. He sends people to deal with them. That's what makes the final fight so glorious. So is he going to get punched every chapter to make you feel better? No, no, because you're not going to know. No, because you're not going to. It's going to be subtle. You're not going to know that he's actually doing this stuff until it's like written in. You're not going to immediately know that this bad guy is doing this stuff to this kid until one day you find out that until it happens. Like I'm not spoiling everything, but yeah, like I have one guy, but like because the whole thing is that like I want it to be implied that he's bullying the kid because he has a crush on the kid because the kid is of alternate gender. But obviously, people are going to be like, "Oh no, that's not what it is." The surprise twist is that he's making life miserable for his kid because he had a thing for his mom. Yada yada. I had a teacher like that, my fourth grade teacher, Miss Williams. My friend's dad smashed, but she got scorned and took it out on us. That's gotta suck. So yeah, like there. So like yeah, I do have a. So yeah, I do have like one. That's only one villainous character. It sounds like you're writing a story. This is what some of these people are doing, not necessarily villain simping. This is what some of these people are doing, not necessarily villain simping. What I'm saying is that like the thing is that this teacher is going to also be seen as like a charming individual and a great teacher and all this other stuff. Like he's going to be written as somebody who is simped already because he's a teacher, he's a person of authority, he's also really good looking, yada yada yada. But like obviously, then you see who he really is, and it's like, oh, this guy's effing terrible. Uh, I also have another character who is a. I also have another character who is a predator, and like she is a like if Muzan showed up every episode and got hurt every episode, then the final fight wouldn't be nearly as epic as it was. I've already seen Muzan get hurt. I don't care. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like I'm just trying to see. I get what you're saying, but it's like he got away with it for like 90% of the story. That's the part that I don't like. It's like and nothing bad happened to him between the time that he is introduced and the time that he did what he did and the time that he's introduced or the time that until the final fight. Nothing happens to this dude. He's untouchable the entire time. I don't like that. I'm not trying to see somebody not get mollywopped at least one time. For everything that like I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, but like I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, but like I did like the fact that at some point a face gets punched. A bad guy's face gets punched. Like, I'm tired of these untouchable villains because they're so cool and so strong, and you have to like relieve them. You have to maintain the mysticism. Screw that. Get this dude mollywopped at least twice. What happened to Toxic Chainsaw in that one anime? What was it called? That superhero one. Name one. Name who? Name a character who's gotten face punched. I mean, like Frieza for one. He didn't get like the final. I mean, like let's see. Mm. I ain't gonna lie. Like I like the idea of Raditz getting I like the idea of Raditz getting got. That was kind of cool. But like I said, I don't like untouchable villains, bro. I don't like untouchable characters in general. Dragon Ball is super formulaic, and it works, and it's a good show. I just want to see bad guys lose, bro. I just want to see bad guys lose. They do, man. I get it. Name one villain who's invincible that fans and authors simp over. Bro, the mustache dude off of Invincible. Go watch Inuyasha then. Naraka gets his butt kicked by Inuyasha often. That's the point. I can't even watch that. I can't even watch that. Like, dude, Naraku doesn't show up until like much later, and he only pops up to just like flee. He's like, I'm here to do evil stuff. Oh no, you're here. Gotta go. Omni Man isn't a villain. Nah, nah, nah. Don't pull that. Nah, we're not doing that. That not only is he like, bro, if he wasn't a villain, people wouldn't like him so much. Nah, he's a villain. He's a villain, and he's untouchable too. Screw that guy. He doesn't lose. He doesn't lose. He always wins, and he's always kicking the crap out of the main character. I am so sick of these people. May self inserts. He has sort of victimhood mentality. Feels that life beats him down, so he wants to see every bad guy in fiction fail at every step. Whatever, man. If you were talking about Thrag, yeah, Omni Man, hell no, nah, man. I'm not trying to, nah, man. Dude be like winning, and he massacres a whole bunch of people and kills everybody, beats the crap out of the main character every so often, and the fans just like pull him to completion. I'm not trying to, and the fans pull him to completion. I'm not trying to watch this. I'm not watching the show for that reason. And you're not going to convince him Omni Man isn't a villain. I'm not trying to watch the show because, like, first of all, the one thing I know is that, like, first thing I know is that, like, if fans universally like a character that's unbeatable, that character is usually an a hole. It's usually like a sociopath or a jerk or just cruel or evil in some fashion. I'm not trying to like, yeah, no. Y'all can keep that. That dude's like he's untouchable and he's evil. I hope he rots, but he won't because he never loses. You're literally wrong about Omni Man. Okay. Like you got me thinking I'm being gaslit. I had to go back and read. Hello, Miss Christie. How you doing today? Just seems like carnage for the sake of carnage. I don't get it. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, but facts are facts. That's fine. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna argue with your facts about anything. I just know that like everybody likes him. So everybody likes him and he's unbeatable, which probably means that he's a deranged sociopath and probably the most obnoxious character written. And because he's obnoxious, he's also untouchable. It's too edge lordy for me. I don't know what you're talking about, man. He's not unbeatable. Does he lose? Does he lose? Does Omni Man lose? And I'm not talking about like, and I'm not talking about like, like a Pokemon faint loss. I'm talking like, does he actually like get beat the hell up? Everything you attributed is attributed to Thrag. He beats up Omni Man and Invincible. As a team, like no, I'm talking about like does Omni Man lose a one-on-one? Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, how come people don't lose their crap about Thrag then? How come people don't like, like how come people don't pull Thrag to completion like how they pull Omni Man to completion? Omni Man's not even as strong as his verse is Thrag. Okay. What I'm saying is how come people aren't pulling and tugging on Thrag like how they pull and tug on Omni Man? Thrag hasn't popped up in the show yet. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Everything you say about Omni Man Thrag is way worse. Once again, I'm asking you why isn't people tugging on Thrag? What happened to the Guardians of the Globe? I have no clue what that is. I feel like that's Conquest is also more evil than Omni Man. Okay. All I'm hearing is that like ultimately these characters are gonna show up and these fans are gonna just like and the fans are gonna tug them to completion like how they do for Omni Man. I get it. Nolan has done some terrible stuff, but he's not that bad. And they got killed by Nolan. Oh, okay. Nolan goes through a redemption arc and everything. Thrag doesn't. And that is someone a non-villain does. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not reading that one. Evil person wins, and the evil lore person wins, and the evil lore person wins. Nolan is the hero that Nolan is the hero that fell from grace. Drag is just bad villain. Someone equals something. Okay. Have an awesome night. I have to get. Well, yeah. Hey, hope that you have a good time. Like, hope you had a good time. Really glad that you showed up. Thanks for the support as always. Can't wait to see your content. Hopefully, you post up on something a little bit soon. In the meantime, though, thanks again. Hope to see you soon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and like comment on the other videos if you can. At the time, Nolan was secretly working with the Viltrumite Empire. He softened. He realized and he loved his wife and son. He winds up redeeming himself and dies. Huh? That's wild, man. Drag Dude was a monster who turned his empire into monsters. When he was abandoned by his empire, he decided to destroy it. Drag is the real monster. In short, he was a villain. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the reason why I'm not watching Invincible. It's like that's the reason why I'm like, I'm not watching Invincible. It's like, oh great, one villain, then another villain, then another villain. Everybody's just an a-hole. Everybody's just beating each other. Everybody's like, all the bad guys are winning. Whoop de doo, whatever. It's like evil succeeds. I don't care. Y'all can have that. By that logic, Vegeta was a villain and thus isn't a hero, and now we should always hate him. No, dude, I'm not saying y'all should hate anybody. But I am saying it's like, but the thing is, why I like Vegeta? Because he lost. You know what I'm saying? He tried to do some crazy stuff, and he ultimately lost. He got punched in the face a few times. So I was like, yeah, of course he's not. Like, of course he's not evil anymore. He tried to do the evil stuff and he didn't win. That's why I liked it. Nolan paid for his crimes and redeemed himself. Okay, Vegeta is a villain. I mean, I'm not saying like here's the thing, dude. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna like all I'm saying is he tried to do some evil stuff and he lost. So he's a reformed villain. Nah, I mean he's just a guy now. I'm not gonna be like, oh wow, he's cool because he used to be a villain. Because that's the thing that you guys like. So that's the thing that fans like to do now. It's like he's still cool. He used to be evil, so he's still evil. But that's what makes him cool. Not to me, dog. Y'all can keep that. Vegeta turned into a hero isn't about him losing. He's just genuinely changed. All I'm saying is that like he tried to do some evil stuff, and he got beat up for it. That's why I like Vegeta because the evil stuff that he did, he paid for it by getting whooped. That's what I'm saying specifically for me. But I know that like everybody else is like he's evil, so he's evil, so he's cool. Nah, dog. It's like he's cool because he used to be evil. We all know that it's like cruelty is better than anything else. You should like a character because of how cruel they are. No, that's not it. Okay, but I just go by what I'm given. And I know that fan bases love evil stuff. They love cruelty. They love being able to say, "Oh, this character is cool because they destroyed another character and they made somebody else miserable." That's what makes them so awesome. Y'all can keep that. Y'all can keep that. That's not me over here, dog. It's like you don't understand. Evil is cool to you, not to me. You can't convince me that he doesn't know people's reasoning for well anything. I just go by what I see, man. You're gonna seriously sit here and tell me that people don't like cruelty. You're gonna seriously sit here and tell me that people don't like cruelty. No, people don't like cruelty. You sure about that? Like, why do people congratulate bullies on everything? Nope, people do, but that's not the only thing that people like. I don't care. I don't care if that's not the only thing that people like. That's something that they like. I'm not about to just overlook. I'm not about to just overlook that because oh wow, they're actually more complicated than is actually more complicated than that. Nah, man, if you like cruelty, that's all I'm gonna see you for. You're just the a-hole who likes cruelty. It's like I'm actually a much deeper person than that. No, you're not. You're evil, bro. Shut up. It's like, sure, I'm a sociopathic, cruel person who thinks that like picking on people is funny, but I also like puppies. Like, you're evil though. Go to hell. You like cruelty. You want to see evil punished, right? You said it several times. Let me see. Wait, is cruel to want to see evil punished? It is cruel to want to see evil punished. All right, I'll bite. I'll take the bait. Why is that cruel? I should wait. I should just like cruelty and let people get away with it and be cool with that, right? So in my story, where somebody is, in my story where there's racists and serial killers and people who think that children are pretty, like I'm supposed to just like in my story, I'm supposed to just let them all get away with it, right? Because that would make me less cruel. Because punishment is about sadism, not to me. So like, so you like cruelty as long as it's something you want to see. All right, but like I said though, like so like help me write my story real quick. Should I just let the people, the evil people in my story just get away with it? Like this is a brainstorming session. Let's turn this into a brainstorming session. Wanting evil stopped doesn't require punishment. Okay, what is this? Okay, what does it require? Stopping it. Okay. Like what? This is what Mega says is not so black and white. All right. How do you stop it? I got a character in my story who thinks that I have a character in my story who thinks that like harming children because they're a different race than he is okay because they're not people. What should I do to that? What should I do to that villain in my story? What should be the thing that should be done to that person in the story? He won't stop either. And because in my story there is a there's a system is set in place to make sure that he doesn't get into any serious trouble, what should be done? No. Help me write that story. Help me write this out. Help me write this out. There's a brainstorming session right now, okay? My niece stole ice cream. So you say bad and evil are the same. Is my niece evil for stealing ice cream? Who is she stealing from? Did she steal it from somebody who needed the ice cream? Doesn't matter who. That's nuance. Nah, I need that for context. I I need it for context. Help me out. You like black and white? I guess so. But like back to my story idea that I'm working on. Like I said, there's a guy up in there who likes the idea of like making life miserable for children who are of different race. And he because he doesn't think that they're people. He can't really get in trouble for it because he pays the cops. What should I do to that person in my story? So why does it matter who the niece steals ice cream from? Because if it's not from people who need it, then is it really stealing? Guys, I get it. Y'all like villains, and I get it. Y'all like villains, and y'all kind of want me to sort of dig villains too. I'm not going to, but like also y'all don't care about y'all really kind of don't care about what I'm trying to say here. Nobody says you have to like villains. Just everything isn't so black and white. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that everything isn't black and white, but it's like you're the most bullheaded person. You really don't listen to anyone. Like I understand that there's context when it comes to good and evil, but the problem is that like what I'm simply saying is that like you ever actually like sit back and have a conversation with like fandoms and stuff like that? Their whole entire approach to everything that is like fiction is villains are actually good, heroes are actually bad, villains have to win because heroes are lame. That's their whole process. Like Omni Man isn't written the way he is because people are simping for him. The writers is just writing a story. I'm not saying that he is. I'm not saying that he's written that way because people are simping for him. I'm saying people are simping for him because that's how he's written. He's this unstoppable psychopath who beats the crap out of everybody that he wants to, and he just wins. He's strong. He wins and he hurts people. I've never heard anyone say that but you. Trust me, dude. Like you're not in the communities and I'm in. You're not in the communities and I'm in, bro. It's pretty. Those guys get pretty bad. What fandoms are you talking to? Seriously, I've never seen that. Like, it's I don't know, man. This is one power scaling community, man. They're pretty bad. Then you should leave those communities. I do, but it's not like I'm going. I have left them, but like what they said kind of just sort of stuck with me, man. Welcome back, Miss Nancy. Because I never see this. Like, dude, like I said, you're not in the same communities and I'm in, bro. Like I said, I got out of those communities, but that stuff stuck with me, man. Those people are evil, bro. And like their whole logic is like villain good, heroes like villains are good, heroes are lame. It only matters about strength. The character who wins the most fights should be like the overall winner and everything. They look at everything like a tournament series, man. It's crazy. Like I had to get out of there because that was just too much that was just too much brain rot. My G, I'm on Twitter. I see stuff I know makes what you're talking about looks like nothing. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all. But I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of stuff that makes me like agitated by these villain simping fans, bro. Like villain simp fans are annoying. They are annoying people. It's like we don't like this series unless the bad guy wins. Like, God, dog. And then a lot of times, a lot of stuff that they be interested in, the bad guys usually win. Or the good guy doesn't win to some degree. Those fans aren't the majority of people. You just go around them. I don't go around them. They're around. And also they are the majority. Like, dude, go to like 80 community, bro. Like maybe, like I said, maybe there are toxic fans in every fandom. You seem to gravitate to the worst ones. Nah, dude, I don't gravitate to them. They're just there. Like I said, they're hard to ignore because they're everywhere, man. I sure I appreciate that. Thanks, Miss Nancy. I hope to come to yours one day. I hope to see one of your live streams one day. You know, should you ever decide to make some content or whatever. You know, like I don't like the idea of me being the only one making content in my community. But I mean, I'll do it. But it's like kind of hope that everybody else does at some point. Then why don't we encounter them everywhere like you do? I don't know, man. Probably because you ignore them. Like you probably might see them every so often and just ignore them because you just realize how ridiculous they sound. But that's not what I do. I just go, this is what the community is now, and then just get angry about it. If they're the majority, yeah, I guess, dude. I don't know. Like I can't. I don't know why you don't. I don't know why you don't encounter things. That's like you asking me, man. Why? That's like why the walls of my house look like walls. I don't know, dude. Because of how it's constructed. Maybe you encounter them and you just ignore them. Shoot, like America's a racist country, but explain that to America, you know. Like I saw people talking about in My Hero Academia, they mostly talk about Deku and the other heroes. Or dude, every single time I even hear anybody talk about a main character in the anime, is always the main character is whiny. The main character, all they do is whine and cry. They don't even do anything. All they do is whine and cry. That's it. They're whiny. They're whiny. They're whiny. What do you mean that they're whiny? All they do is cry all the time. Yeah. It's like, ugh. Only villain they talk about is the guy with the hands. It's like Deku just lost, and he's like, he's not even a superhero. He doesn't even do anything. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, please shut up. I've seen people talk about Deku in a positive light. You did, I didn't. They were defending him, saying how the movies make him look better. Winding young main characters is an anime trope. Nah, dude, I just get tired of hearing fans say that because every single time they say that a character whines, they don't care about anything that the character actually does. They're just saying that the character is whiny because they don't know what else to actually say about them. It sounds less like a trope. It sounds less like a trope in the series and more like a word that these idiots say because it's the only thing they can think of saying. It's like I don't care about. I genuinely do not care about like their. I hate their takes because their takes is just good guys suck, bad guys should win. Also like fight like the person who wins the most fight is the person who's the most relevant in the story. Like that's all it is for these morons. Boruto is a frequent topic of discussion. They're never talking about villains, just the quality of the work in Boruto. Yeah, I bet they just say Boruto sucks, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The fandoms are annoying. There's always everything is terrible. Yeah, I don't care. It's like, man, these people, all they want to do is just say that. All they want to do is just like say something is terrible, and it's like it's not good unless the bad guy wins or something. Uh, I've never seen these people. Like, where is this? Blue Sky, Threads, even YouTube? I barely see this. It's in Facebook groups. There's like a couple of Facebook groups that I used to be in, and like that's how they were like operate, man. Like I said, just go into some Facebook groups, specifically like some blurred Facebook groups. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna encounter stuff you never thought that you're gonna probably like your entire perspective might change or not. I don't know. You probably might actually be cool with them. I just know that I wasn't. I hate it. I like these people are the reason. Like I didn't really care that much about. I didn't really care that much about like villain simping before I encountered these groups, man, because that's all they go by. It's just stupid, annoying. It really gets that stupid and annoying sometimes. Recently, Jujutsu Kaisen was a topic, and people were ragging this one guy who wanted Mahito to be redeemed. Who's Mahito? Who's Mahito? Let me guess. Is that a blur group sound hyper specific? I'm telling you, go up in there and see. Go up in there for yourself, man. Maybe you don't need to be in blurred groups. I'm not in them anymore. I'm just saying, like, all the stuff that I've heard about is the stuff that I've seen. All the stuff that I talk about is the stuff that I've seen in blurred groups. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're representative for most people. They're representative of a lot of people, bro. But what I'm simply pointing out is that, like, like I said, check them out and see for yourself. I can guarantee they are not. Maybe not. Maybe so. All I know is that, like, that's what I encountered, and that's what I can't stand. That's what I encountered. That's what I'm going by. That's what I can't stand. Like, that was a time where they just collectively, like, gamed up. They just collectively just basically, like, man, I don't even want to see Jujutsu Kaisen because, like, what? Like I said, for me, it's just like, what? The bad guy wins. Screw that. Tired of bad guy winning, bro. That's the same reasoning for racism, sexism, and I don't get what you're saying. These people feel this way, so everyone must be this way. See, I would actually see that would actually make sense if I wasn't in the same category as the people who, like, racists go after. It's like I know for a fact that I'm not like that, so it's like, yeah. But, like, how is there a sequel if the bad guy wins? Is there a sequel? I didn't know there was a sequel. I didn't know there was a sequel, man. Come on, like, but it's like, what's the sequel? But it's like, what would a sequel be about? Hello, guys. It's I mean, like, but there could be a sequel to the bad guy wins though. Like that that's not that wouldn't like that would just kind of like be like, hey guys, everybody, hey, everything's destroyed. Everybody, like, bad guy won. The grandchildren? I didn't even know that was grandchildren. How could there be a sequel to the Empire Strikes Back if the bad guys win? Not, I don't know, dude. I don't really watch Strike, but there was. Okay, did the bad guys win in the Empire Strikes Back? Return of the Jedi. Okay, but did the bad guy, I didn't watch any Star Wars, dude. Like, none. The Empire won. The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I bet they did because, hey, bad guys have to win. Like, let's give the villain simps something to be happy about. Whatever. Empire Strikes Back main edition. Luke doesn't lose to Vader, so the Empire loses in all three movies. That's not what I mean. Like, dude, like, first of all, I wouldn't really write. I would not write anything in Star Wars. Apollo 1 and Rocky. It was also the second part on. But there were 1,000 Rocky sequels, dude. I'm not saying that. Apollo wasn't a villain. Like once again, guys, I'm not saying that like all I'm saying is that like we gotta. I mean, like I'm acknowledging the fact that villains win. I'm not denying that villains win, dude. I know that they do. They always win. Well, they normally win. Not always, but they normally win because you got to give the villain simps what they want. In Jujutsu Kaisen, bad guy win equals world is over. Okay. Therefore, the villains didn't win in Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know. Apollo thought he was going to destroy some nobody fighter. All right. Rocky wasn't even ranked. Oh, okay. Like I never saw Rocky, but like if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Rocky like one of the reasons why like a wrestler quit in WWE or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, once again, like I'm not denying the fact that villains don't. I'm not denying the fact that villains win. I'm saying villains always win. Well, villains normally win and like get away with it for like a really long time because you got to give the villain sims what they want because villain sims make up the majority of the audience now, as they did back then. It's like give the villain sims what they want. Make sure the bad guy wins for like 90% of the story, only for the good guy to come back in the final 10. It's like you gotta give these villain simps something to stroke to. No, they do not. Okay. You gotta see. All right. Do me a favor. Go to the blurred groups on Facebook, and you tell me that they. And like I said, like you like, let me know specifically after the end of that, after the end of your little adventure in those groups. You told me that they don't make up the majority of the fandom. Like I hate you got in those blurred groups, and that they really tainted you like this. The villain wins in a ton of slasher films, but there's always sequels. I'm not denying that villains win, dude. I'm not saying that villains don't. I'm not denying that villains win. I'm not saying that sequels don't exist. I'm just saying like villains win because you gotta, like I said, you gotta give the villain simp something to stroke to. It's just like all they do is like all we right now is stuff that makes the villain simps happy because villain simps make up the majority of the fan base. I'm not denying that villains win. I'm simply saying villains win because like evil is like kind of the majority of the audience now. The majority of the audience, they're bullies. They like seeing people get hurt for no reason. Okay, Megas, those enter the world. I responded to and dude said if villains win, that could be a seat. Yeah, I get that. Shoot, like Megas gets it though. All I'm saying is that the average fan now is a bully, and they want to see something that makes them feel good about being a bully. Find me when the world effing ends. Gets back to me. I'm telling you, you're basing your experience off a small percentage of fans in a group. I just go by what I see, man. And they're not that small, bro. Like, if it's not a sequel where they survive in a destroyed world, I'm doing the damage. Like, let me see if I can like find some review pages real quick and like see if I can like prove to you. Like, I wish there was a way to like. I mean, dude, look at every single comment section on every single like viewer announce like every single like trailer video. End of the world happens in. But like, think about this, man. Like, like imagine, how like there's a trailer for like a new movie that always pops up, and there's always somebody who's just saying, "I can't wait to see who the villain is, so I can start rooting for the villain." If a blur group isn't over 1 million people, it's not large, bro. I was in one of the biggest blur groups on that site before they kicked me out. The group was called "The Extraordinary Journey of a Black Nerd," and like the guy who ran it is like a Trump supporter. Um, So who is the villain in 28 later, 8 days later? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be rooting for that guy. Like whoever the villain is in 28 days later, I'm pretty sure that every at least half of the people watching it is going to be like, I can't wait to see how the villain is going to win. There weren't 1 million people in there. Maybe not, but it was still like one of the bigger groups, man. I'm talking to Megas. Oh. I'm on a highway to heck. There's no villain. A virus is turning people into zombies. Okay. I've never heard anyone ever say what you did. Can't wait to see who the villain is, wringing their hands. Dude, all I'm saying, okay. You're not on the internet nearly as much as I am. You're not in these you're not in these communities. You're not really in these communities like that. So it's like, of course you're not going to the villains in 28 days later were the rage zombies. I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm guessing you're answering this question. Why were you booted from those groups? Because I didn't have a good sense of humor, apparently. Somebody they made a cruel joke about something, and I questioned that joke, and they got upset with me about it. So they kicked me out of the group for that. The joke came off as a little bit bigoted, and they was just like, "Ah, great, here comes the buzzkill. Nah, we gotta get this buzzkill up out of here. We want to make our mean jokes." Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was being too much of a buzzkill, and people just got upset about it. Like we want to make our mean bigoted jokes. I forget what the joke was. It was like really long time ago. But like, it's probably still up. I don't know. I've been out, but I've been kicked out of that group like a while ago. So it's like, but yeah, like I remember I was asking questions about the joke, like what made the joke is like what makes this joke funny? Because obviously the joke was either bigoted or like done in low taste. It was something like that, and peeps was probably like, oh, you're being, and it wasn't even like they were telling me I was being a buzzkill. I just like, I just noticed that I couldn't get back into the group after that. But like I said, it was but like ultimately, like it was kind of like a screwed up group anyway, because the guy who ran it was like a Trump supporter, and it was like the group was called the Extraordinary Journey of a Black Nerd, but he kept like, and people thought it was a Black nerd group, but it turns out he's like, actually, I'm the Black nerd in my title, and this is all you, and I can invite anybody I want to. So it wasn't really a Black nerd group as much as it was like just people that he just felt like bringing in. So it'd be like a lot of white people up in there too, a lot of white right wing people up in there. So like I was bound to get kicked out at some point anyway. But like, but yeah, that was the reason. Excuse me. But you still think what people in the bigoted group of conservative black nerds are representative of most fans of fiction? Yes. Because I go into a lot of comment sections of I usually go into a lot of comment sections of a lot of fictional things, and like the fans would sound exactly the same way they did as the fans in that group. Like almost bar for bar. If Sukuna won, the world gets overrun with cursed spirits, and all the sorcerers could fight him would die. Therefore, no sequel. I didn't even know JK. I didn't even know JJK Rowling was had a sequel. So like that's a new one for me. But hey, if it happened, that's dope. I can tell you, a bigoted group on Facebook is not a representative of fans. Yes, they are. Yes, they absolutely are. Because fans are bigoted. Once again, the majority of the fan base are bigoted, sociopathic, mean spirited, and just straight up cruel. Like, am I wrong about that? Am I wrong that the basic, not, most fans nowadays are just cruel, sociopathic people? All right, all right, all right. Can I say some fandoms? Can I say some fans are cruel, sociopathic people? I'm not even saying most. I'm saying some. Can we say some? I got 5 people up in here. That's crazy. 5 people up in here and only 2 people talking. Let's see. So it's got to be Miss Christie, Miss Nancy, and oh god, it's freaking J Rob. He's just smart enough to not say anything. Some of every group of people are going to be a-holes. Exactly. All right. So we understand that. Okay, if you notice, why keep interacting with them and letting them influence how you feel on things? I'm not interacting with them. I'm just like, I'm not interacting with them. I'm just agitated because of the fact that it's like, I want to enjoy stuff. I actually was interested in Invincible before I started seeing people like, before I started seeing people like throat that mustache guy. Because if I know for a fact, if the fans are throwing somebody that powerful, that person's a sociopath who is untouchable. I'm good. Y'all can have that. Shoot, I'm not trying to see some untouchable. I'm not trying to see some untouchable jerk win ad nauseum. Y'all can have that. You're literally wrong though. They just make the most noise. He's not untouchable. He's not a sociopath. I love how you say he's not untouchable. Okay, how long does he go being untouchable before he is touched? He's not untouchable. He's not a sociopath. He suffers damage against Mark in their first fight alone. I don't. Okay. Then why is he getting stroked so hard? Probably as long as any invulnerable hero does. Invulnerable heroes. Okay. Name one invulnerable hero. He gets beat up by Viltrumites, Thrag, Alan the Alien, and Mark. Alan the Alien. That's funny. That's actually pretty funny. Alan the Alien. Hey, who's Alan the Alien? The story is called Invincible, not Omni Man, because the story is not about Omni Man. I know that it's not about Omni Man, but the way that these idiots was like hollering about how powerful Omni Man is, I'm just assuming that like literally the first season is just him beating up Invincible the entire time. It's like, hey, Invincible, bam, 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 bam. What you learn? Okay, same time tomorrow. All right. Hey, Invincible. Say, hey, Invincible. It's tomorrow. Bam. Bam, Same time tomorrow, bro. Gotta learn. Later, bro. What's up, RC? How's it going? You see though how your opinion was colored by your bias though. I know that. I'm okay with having my own personal bias. He's pretending to be a good hero and a dad at first. Okay, I get that, but like once again, it's like who's straight for another beatdown? Bro, this is like your dude. This is gonna be like every week for you. He doesn't beat Mark until the season finale. Dude, okay, so what's that little meme that he says where he's like where the main character is like bloodied up on a rock and he's standing up there like going, think, man, think. Come on, bro. That's not is that the season? That's the season finale? He's actually a good dad at first. Okay. I don't care about that. What like the think meme, is that the season finale? That stupid think meme? If you're all right with your bias, how can you have good faith discussion about anything? I'm not, dude. Everything I have is in good. Everything I do is in good faith. It's just like I'm gonna. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm being open about my bias first. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct on anything. I'm just saying I believe myself. You're doing more though. You're saying that things are the way you say that they are. That's different from saying you think XYZ. That's from the season finale. Okay, I'm agreeing with you. I'm aware that that's why I asked. I asked, is that from the then Mark makes him cry and he lives sad. Wait, Mark makes him cry? That guy can cry? He actually gets sad about stuff? What's he sad about? Like the Viltrumites are based on sand, so they love battle, war, and don't care about other things until they meet humans. Okay, like, all right. So let me see if I got this right. Let me see if I got this correct. I mean, okay, so does he lose? Does he lose before the season finale? Does he lose any fights before the season finale? Does anything bad happen to him before the season finale, before the stupid think meme thing? Nothing much. What are you doing? Just another live? Yeah, dude, it's just another live, man. More shootings. He kills the Guardians of the Globe, but takes a lot of damage. Is okay. That's what I'm saying though. But it's like he still won though. He still won that fight. I'm untouchable, but I'm forcing you to feel me. Viltrumites are basically the aliens are sociopaths until they encounter humanity trope. Is implied had they fought better and hadn't gotten the jump, they could have killed him. But he still won. That's the thing. He still won. Like I understand what you're saying, but he still won. He still did something evil and succeeded. That's what I'm getting at. That's the point. I feel like we're like I'm agreeing with you here. Like he did something evil and he succeeded at the evil thing because evil. If he lost, the story would have ended right there. I'm not denying that. I'm agreeing with you. You say he never gets hurt. He does. And I was asking it. Well, yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, now I know he gets hurt. Thanks for giving me an example of when he does get hurt, though. But he still won that fight, though. Yes, Mark broke his heart by making him realize he crossed the line. Oh, so Mark broke his heart. Mark broke his heart is like going, "Hey, I won. Wait, I didn't." I mean, so he won, but he barely won because he couldn't believe he did that to his son. Like I said, Thrag is everything you think Omni Man is. Okay, but like, I also think that Omni Man is unbeatable. So if Thrag is unbeatable, why should I watch this crap? It's like if Drag is unbeatable, why should I watch this crap? Oh, great! Another bad guy who is going to be unstoppable and powerful, and yes, Drag is on the show. He's just really strong. I want, yeah, okay, shoot, yeah, really strong. Like what? Once again, what? Like super unbeatable, like almost unbeatable. Is like the only person who could beat him is a main character, but he has to lose like 8 times first. Sounds like Dragon Ball. Probably. He wants Mark to work with him first. Hey, Mark, let's go ahead and get some work done. First, I gotta beat the crap out of you. It's like fight one, you lose. Fight two, you're gonna lose again. Fight three, you're still losing. Fight number four, you're still losing. Fight number five, bro, how are you still losing? Fight number six, how does it feel to lose again? Fight number seven, you still losing. Fight number eight, Drag was trained from birth to be the strongest Viltrumite. I'm not arguing against that, but it's like, yeah. So as a result, Thrag is to Omni Man what Omni Man is to most Viltrumites. All right. Yeah, like I agree. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I am genuinely so as a result, that okay. Yeah, I just read that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm definitely not reading that one. Drag also does have moments of good. They had a peace agreement for the Viltrumites to live on Earth, and Thrag wasn't killing anyone until he decides to because he's a jerk and because nobody can stop him anyway. There's one thing I do know is that like I can definitely judge. I can definitely do a good. I can definitely be a good judge of character for like the stereotypical like evil fan, because I can always say, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario, okay, where there's a character. He basically says, "You're gonna be fine. I'll make sure that you're okay. I'll protect you this entire time," and then that character gets killed, and all I have to do is just wait for the person that I'm describing that to just laugh about it. It's like on imagine if you would, there's a character who's about to protect another character. He says, "You're gonna be fine, there's no problem. Like, we're gonna make sure that you don't get killed. I'm gonna make sure that you're okay. We're gonna get out of here, okay." And then that character gets killed. If they laugh, that fan is a psychopath. He gets kicked out of the Empire, which gets him butthurt and wants to now destroy the Empire. Okay. Yeah. Why does he get kicked out of the Empire? Because he's like, well, I'm stronger than everybody else. Brr. I'm stronger than everybody else. Nah, you can't be a part of this group because you're too powerful. It's like, hey, why don't the big group just eat the smaller one? Why don't the big group just eat the smaller one? I'm trying so hard to sound like Lur. That sound like Lur? I'm trying to sound like Lur. Lur. Lur of Omicron Persei 8. I can't do it. I am Lur of Omicron Persei 8. Hmm. I could. I used to be good at this stuff. Can I still do my Kif Croker? Can I still do my Kif Croker? Yeah, Kif Croker still sounds about right. Oh wait, okay, wait. I can if I can be Kif, I can also be. Screw you, Magus. If you don't like it, get the hell off. Let's see. How am I gonna? Let's see. Shoot. I could probably still do. I can still do Zap Brannigan. Zap Brannigan. Darn it. Mm. I used to be good at this. Megan's really gonna like yeah, like this is your life, bro. Get in your life, dude. Let's see. I gotta read a Zap Brannigan line. If a 5 o'clock shadow, hold on. If a woman has 5 o'clock shadow, keep your mind open and your eyes closed. Like, God, man. This is challenging. Also, I will never understand. Futurama is a great show. It is. It is. And like I will never get over the fact that they managed to get Leela with Zap that one time. I still don't know how that even happened, but I hated that moment. But everything else was okay. Keith Croker is actually my Keith Croker voice is actually very on point. His voice is so easy to do. I am Lur. I am Lur. Man, Billy West was a genius. Billy West was like so good at this. But yeah, like I said, I hated certain things. Certain things I hated about Futurama, but not more stuff I was sort of I accepted. People do sleep on it though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a funny show when it is. It's a funny show when it can be. And like I didn't know that Peg Bundy was Leela, but once I realized that Leela was Peg Bundy, like I can hear her voice in anything now. Better than American Dad to me. But I think American Dad is funny too, but I just hate Roger. Like the fact that Roger just keeps getting away with crap is like one of the few reasons why I hate that show. Ugh. I can't believe Family Guy is still around. Man, that dude's gonna be man. Seth. I forgot his last name. That Seth guy, the guy who made that show, man, that dude is like cashing in, bro. That dude is cashing in, man. He's making he's making his money. Do I love Rick and Morty? I used to before I started noticing that I don't like the idea of a character like getting picked on for like seemingly no reason. And that's kind of what it felt like they were doing to like Jerry. It's like because like while I mean like Jerry is a bumbling dad at the most, but it just really does feel like they just said, you know what, we just want to make life miserable for this character just because we don't like him, and that gets annoying after a while. Also, like it's the fact that like Rick will like get a little bit more sadistic at some point, but he would just get away with it. Not cool with that either. Jerry has some wins. Does he? Like my whole I'm gonna tell you right now, like with every show that I've seen, every fictional show that I've seen, Rick started taking L's. Oh, really? That's a new one to me. There was one season finale that ended with him all alone and sad. Rick doesn't get sad by being alone. Like I thought he hated everybody. Rick's L's are self-imposed. Nah, I actually just want to see the mom lose every once in a while because the mom, I don't know what it is, but the mom hating Rick, I mean, the mom hating Jerry is what really kind of annoyed me the most. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I never really thought that I didn't know Rick was capable of losing. He was sad because Maury wasn't ever with him. Both the Beths weren't looking for his love. Beth takes L's? I didn't know that. When did I stop watching? Shoot. I couldn't even tell you. I damn, I couldn't even tell you honestly. Ooh, I don't know. I genuinely could not tell you, but it was a while ago, man. It's probably like when they met Scary Terry. But yeah, like I said, they just kept picking on like that's just I don't like the idea of a character. I don't like the idea of a character like getting like just brutally like like just manhandled the entire time. And I felt like that's what they were doing with Jerry, and I was like, I can't watch this. It's like I understand that he's a bumbling dad. I understand that he gets it wrong sometimes, but they really hate. Have a good with Megs. Like it's like I'm not cool with. Everybody has taken L's. I would not have guessed. I would not have guessed. Jerry takes the most though. Yeah, I know. I know, man. They really hate that. They really hate that. They really hate Jerry. I get that. That's the reason why I don't watch the show because once again, like I don't like the idea of like a character getting bullied, man. Because especially because like the bullying feels unnecessary and unmotivated. It's like, what did Jerry do that was so bad that they had to just like mess with him that much? You know what I mean? Like, what did he do that's somehow worse than what anybody else could have done? Doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, like that definitely but like that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped watching like a lot of like fictional shows because like a lot of fictional shows that I've been watching, I could like find something wrong with each of them. Like with for example, with regular show, like Rigby just kept getting punched all. Like there was a time where like Rigby would get punched, and when he would punch Mordecai back, Mordecai would just like not even feel it. It would just be put. It would like be promoted as like this, like a light series of punches. I didn't like that. I think they realized and they started rolling some of it back. Yeah, but it's like by the time they did that, I was tapped out, man. I'm not trying to see that. I don't like seeing like one of the big reasons why I stopped watching Futurama was because Leela just kept shooting Fry down. It kept on making it seem like oh, they were going to get together, they're going to get together, but actually no, Leela doesn't like him. It's like will they or won't they? And then they finally do, and I'm, like by the time they do, I'm like I've already like missed everything in the show. I've already like missed like everything in the show. I just saw I just saw like the final season and was I just saw like the final last episode and I was like, oh, cool, they got together. But yeah, like I'm not a big fan of that sort of stuff. Like like I understand I understand doing stuff for the sake of the plot, but kind of like it's like they really did just kind of like let that they dragged that on for way too long. Another reason why I kind of don't watch Futurama is because of Barbados Slim and Hermes' wife. Apparently they were doing the nasty behind his back or something. I don't like that. Y'all can keep that too. But yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, like I that's kind of one of the big reasons why I started getting into like nonfiction stuff. So I mostly like watch the news. I mostly just watch the news and what's what I'm looking for. I mostly just watch the news and documentaries now. Oh, so real quick, completely out of context, but any ad that I just happen to see on here, it's not that I support them or anything like that. They just pop up. I got three people up in here still. Shout out to the three people that are still up in here. I really appreciate y'all for popping up. Um, uh, Thanks for sticking around. My body is getting a little tired. Also, I haven't really been doing a lot of uploading lately, but that's only because I have been kind of sick. I have not been feeling well. My chest hurts, and I've been feeling my ear cave in. And I ain't really trying to go to no doctor right now because I'm broke. But um, with that being said, I'm not dying, thankfully. Um, but yeah, I have been kind of like feeling a little bit sick lately. I did try to upload, but my mic is still acting up. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to figure that out too. In the meantime, though, yeah, still alive, still doing things. uh, Tired for the most part, but it is getting to be a little bit late, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I do appreciate you guys for sticking around, but just know you're more than just a person. You are an experience. You know how to choose to be a good experience, bad experience, no experience at all. I definitely recommend being a good experience or no experience because nobody really needs a bad experience right now. Things are getting a little rough out here. Things are getting a little bad. You know, why does anybody really need to be a +2 to 10 on somebody else's bad day anyway? Am I right? With that being said, please be sure to spread love and peace out there. And if you can't spread love and peace, spread nothing at all, because sometimes people do need a little bit of nothing in their life. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. It's 10:41 here in Texas. Yes, ma'am. Uh, but I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Every y'all stay cool out there. Stay reasonable. Remember, be kind. Being mean is mainstream, and being kind is punk rock. You know, because mainstream music goes with the times, but punk is forever. I'm gonna head out. Love and peace to every single one of y'all, and see y'all next time.